Hi, I'm Jerry Saltz. I'm the senior art critic for New York Magazine, and today I want to show you some of my favorite paintings in all of New York in a number of museums. So come with me into this unbelievable buried treasure that's right under our noses all the time. Come on. Take a look at this Cubo futuristic masterpiece, 1911 by Kazimir Malevich. The painting is the last second before figuration sort of rattles itself to the bones and turns into abstraction. These kind of robot peasants outfitted as triangles, wearing sort of metallic cones. You can see Malevich painting a quintessential Russian scene. Watch space sort of turn into this kind of weird lens. Here's 2 or 3 homes, a tree. Look at this figure here, pulling a sled. Really spend some time with this painting. Have a ball, because it can just swirl you around like a washing machine. When you walk past the Sassetto, an Italian artist active in the early 1400s in Italy, look at this gorgeous little jewel. You have the 3 magi following the Star of Bethlehem to give gifts to the baby Jesus. But really the star of this painting is the quietude, the space, the beautiful entourage of costumes, horses. Notice the hills in the background. They're not realistic. They're from a huge realm called the imagination, which is about to celebrate possibly the greatest literary character invented in the West, Jesus Christ. Really take a look at one of the more radical painters in the history of painting, Edouard Manet, possibly the greatest housecoat ever painted in art history. It refers also to the 5 senses. Look at the orange. You can almost smell it, right? The sound of the parrot. She touches the flowers between her fingers and smells them and looks directly at you with those incredible black coal eyes. Well, here's Philip Guston. Look at this almost self-portrait in bed. This thing is alive with both anxiety, sort of egomaniacal energy. This is what an artist goes through. Notice the time is 2:25. Because there's a light bulb in the middle of the painting, we know it's the morning. When you wake up at 2:30, your eye, boom, goes open. You start smoking in bed. Everything around you is sort of a mess. Is that blood around him? Is he lying on a painted floor? He's also like a wrapped cocoon, or a chrysalis, or a mummy, or a barely human figure. This is what really the dark night of the soul is, when your body disappears and you just turn into a raw nerve. Here we are at the Garden of Eden of Modernism, the Museum of Modern Art, and its absolutely unsurpassable collection of modern art. Paul Cézanne's The Bather from 1885 shows you a figure walking into another optical dimension. The space around him begins to destabilize. You can see all of perspectival space collapsing behind him. This is a being coming into consciousness, putting his left foot forward. He seems almost awkward as he steps into your space. It's a bit like a baptism. You almost sense that he's come out of one element into another, from water into air, from the past into the present, and we will take him into the future. Look at any Cézanne, really work with it, and you're dealing with almost the Shakespeare of modernism. Here's Henri Matisse's Goldfish with Palette. Wow, when you look at the fish, one's orange, the other's kind of magenta. He's making light come through this great blue window, but notice that the light is black. You've never seen that in art history before, and now you don't see it anymore. You see, this is the palette right here. And what that is Matisse's sort of phallic thumb sticking through the palette. He's kind of looking out the window. He's looking at his still life. This is Matisse returning fire to Picasso and the Cubists. This is Matisse saying, I'm a Fauvist, but I can play at this game too. For my money, Matisse is winning in 1914. Whoa. Jackson Pollock's One, number 31 from 1950. This is a painter giving up everything. He's not touching the brush to the canvas. He's putting the canvas on the ground, and he's just dripping. There's a lot of ways to look at the painting. It's not chaos. If you look at the painting just the whites, or just the blues, or just the blacks, you'll start to see beautiful layers of space, as if Pollock had a real sense of how to organize this. If you made a drip painting, believe me, it would be messier than this and sort of uglier. Also notice how it kind of works within the four sides of the painting. It's not shooting out. It's actually being pressed in by the conditions of its existence. Just like you. Thanks for sharing this tip of an iceberg of something extraordinary, special, and magnificent that New York has its art museums. We've only begun to look.